Hey guys, welcome to Hey Guys, an internet obsessed podcast where we discuss all your favorite social media stars, what they're doing, and how we feel about it. I am your host, Amanda Hasika, a content producer for Instant, which basically means I keep my finger on the pulse of the internet at all times. And if you don't know what Instant is, it's a new media outlet and video platform dedicated entirely to covering digital creators. And today I'm joined by one of the most popular digital creators out there, Hannah Hart.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah.
Hello.
I thought it was going to be me.
Oh.
And Jonathan Ratliff. He's like the second most popular
The
digital
second,
creator.
Yeah, second most.
Really close
I saw
second.
you on that 2-person list we made.
Yeah.
That was like me. It was
That's
Hannah
like-
Yeah.
and then Jonathan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us.
thank you for
I'm
having
so
me. I'm
excited.
excited to be here.
So we are here to talk about, you have a very exciting, a very cool digital series, While the Water Boils.
Yeah, it's actually season 3 of While the Water
That's
Boils.
crazy.
I know. It was just such an uproarious good time that people were like, we want more.
Demanded.
Which is usually,
Demanded.
I think, how people feel about pasta just in
Yeah.
general.
Pasta is amazing. I can't get enough of it,
No.
personally. So if people haven't heard about it or haven't watched it, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, during the first 2 seasons of While the Water Boils, we had such amazing guests like Bill Nye and Wanda
Which
Sykes.
I want to get into that. We're going to get into that, but tell everyone, because I'm obsessed with Bill Nye, but please go on. Sorry, I had to interrupt to like, it
Just
was
like-
just like a visceral like reaction. Bill Nye.
You have every right to be obsessed. But for those of you that don't know, While the Water Boils is a wonderful series that merges people, passion, and pasta. It's actually kind of like my dream interview series because I get to eat a delicious meal at the end of every interview, and I get to spend my time really engaging with people who have a passion and an interest that drives them in life. And that's kind of my favorite thing to do. I always feel like if someone's passionate about something, that's all that matters. They can be passionate about botany, but we could have the best conversation.
Right.
It's like a carb load conversation.
Yeah. You got a carbo load. I mean, that's a great, talking can take a lot out of you. So you got a carbo load for the chatting. So Bill Nye was a guest, which tell me just everything about Bill Nye.
Bill Nye is even better than anything you've ever thought.
Yeah.
He's just so, I guess he is so real and so passionate about saving the planet and so passionate about educating people about the sciences and keeping science alive. And it's really something that I don't know. I love educators and I love people that really value education. And it was amazing to see that he can't function without telling you about something that you didn't know. Right. For instance, he taught me how to tie my shoes. I've been tying them wrong. That's why they come undone. Yes, there's a proper way to do it.
Well, and what is it? You have to.
I'll show you later.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll show me later. But I feel like, wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Do you have like a dream guest that you would love to have?
Patrick Stewart.
Ooh.
So write that down, everybody. Patrick
that out
Stewart.
into the
Yeah.
universe.
Patrick Stewart is absolutely someone who I think would have a great time on the show with us, and someone who I would love to spend an entire day with. And then, obviously the Oprah, Martha Stewart, Beyonce, just like, I'm really shooting for the stars.
Quite literally.
Cash list of
But then
up and comers.
also, though, I feel like, who never gets enough credit? I feel like are like franchise managers that really make their franchise store into like the best kind of store it could possibly be. Like, small business owners that have just gone above and beyond with their passions. I also feel like the little guy is someone that's really interesting. So I wouldn't mind taking it that direction too.
Well, especially in LA, I feel like LA and New York, other places like that, like there's so many small, cool restaurants. Like I feel like LA, there's always like, here are like 5 new restaurants that you need to. You're like, there's so many. I don't know how to like,
I know.
keep. And then they always have such fascinating stories.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how they kind of came to be and what made them passionate about it. So very cool. What is your favorite pasta dish to cook? Do you have like a go-to one?
Oh, man. I kind of love like, I'm a little partial to the first one. I think I really mastered. Not mastered,
Did really
guys.
well.
One that I'm confident that I can cook.
It was edible.
Yeah, and good and like, I don't know, satisfying. It's really simple. It's basically like the Italian version of like mac and cheese. It's like cacio e pepe, which is just like peppers and cheese and like herbs and cheese. And it's just all about having fresh ingredients. It's really simple, but then just so satisfying. It's the simplicity that makes it so sumptuous. So today's episode's brought to you by the letter S.
I feel like pasta really is like the first thing that anyone kind of like learns how to cook. That like grilled cheese.
One would think, but I have actually learned a lot of really like crucial pasta cooking tips. Yeah, I've been messing up pasta my whole life.
Same. Do you know just this last year I learned how I overcook pasta till it's literally dead and had no idea I was doing that. And I was like, no, it always tastes good. They're like, no. And then I got taught how to do it. And I'm like, it changes your entire world.
It changes your entire world. Do you know that, like, when you go to a good Italian restaurant and you're like, why would I order pasta? And then you order it and you eat it and you're like, oh my God,
Yeah, this is life-changing.
they've done something incredible. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with exactly what you mentioned, the cook time.
Have you watched Master of None season 2?
Not yet.
He goes to Italy and like makes. It's like he sort of has like an internship type of apprenticeship where he makes pasta, and that's like his passion, and it's so cool.
Well, the good news is that Barilla has brought that passion to your home. Hi, I'm the pasta girl.
What is your favorite wine to drink with pasta?
Ooh. One that's open. Something nearby with a close proximity.
Right.
I don't know, because both wine and pasta dishes can have such varieties that it's almost as fun to kind of try and pair them. So it really depends on what I'm cooking.
Yeah. Have you ever made pasta from scratch? Is that something you've attempted?
No.
Would you want? Is that something
Seems
that you
like
would?
a
I really
nightmare of me.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, as lovely as that sounds,
Yeah.
I would rather be able to take, like a box of Barilla pasta and cook it, because they have the cook time instructions on the front, which is something that it's on the front of the box. It says al dente perfection in 9 to 10 minutes. And you're like, wow, thank you for making this simple. Some are 4 to 5.
reading.
Who knew? But it
Right.
changes everything.
Yeah.
It's like when I watched Food Network and like Bobby Flay like makes pasta in like 30 seconds to one of those competition things, and I'm like, what?
That's not gonna
Lies.
happen. I mean, I would love,
Lies.
I would love
TV magic.
to use 100% of my leisure time towards that.
Right.
But I have other interests as well.
I was gonna say that it would be a really long episode of while the water boils. It would be like, and while we like knead the pasta.
Wow.
Yeah.
It would be
because
a
you have
long
to like
episode.
cool it. No, I'm good.
That would be the one you want Oprah on though, because it would be so long. that
Yeah.
you're like I have like 5 hours. I don't know how long it takes to cook pasta or make
Because Oprah
pasta.
makes her own pasta.
She makes her own
She
everything.
probably has.
She
She's-
gardens.
She has her own garden. Oh my God,
She
she
gardens.
can bring some of her vegetables from her garden, and you guys, like, hello.
Yeah.
So you guys, we need to make this happen. Okay. So we're not done talking about pasta yet.
Great.
We're gonna play a game.
Okay.
So it is called Pasta or Impasta.
Oh.
And so I'm going to give you the name of something really Italian sounding, and you have to tell me if it's a pasta or if it's an impasta.
Okay. Get ready.
Okay, Jonathan,
Like
you
they're
can
actual
play as well.
Italian words or Italian sounding.
They're Italian words. I wouldn't have been able to make up Italian words.
Like we can say our names with Italian accents.
All right. Cavatelli.
Cavatelli? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say that's a pasta.
It is.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Capisco.
Not a pasta.
Yes, it is the Italian word for I don't understand.
Ah, capisco. It's like the opposite of capiche.
Right? Capisco.
Capisco.
No, yeah.
No capiche over here.
No capiche, capisco.
Yeah, you want a capiche?
And I might butcher these names too. Davvero.
I'm gonna say no.
It means really. So
There
you're
you
like
go.
killing this game.
It doesn't sound like pasta. It doesn't feel like pasta.
Like I know it in my bones. I know pasta.
Yeah.
Anelli.
I feel like that could be pasta. Yeah.
It is pasta.
Yeah, that's pasta. That was also just based off the timing of the question. Odds are that was going to be pasta.
All right. Coletti.
I'm going to say that's a pasta.
That is not a pasta.
No.
That is the last name of Stephen Coletti from Laguna Beach.
I only knew that because I heard you say that in the office the other day.
Coletti.
Coletti.
I was like, oh, that is so Italian sounding. Ripetta.
Now I'm thrown. Okay, hold on. I'm going to say ripetta is not pasta.
Ding ding. It
Yes.
means repeat.
Yeah, it seems like it could only mean repeat.
Yeah. Cavatapia.
Cavatapia?
Yeah, cavatapia.
I don't think so.
It's a pasta.
It is.
Yep.
What type of pasta?
What kind of pasta?
Give me some
I'll have to
descriptors.
I'll have to double. Hold on.
Oh, sounds spirally.
Spirally. Let's take a look. It is. It is spirally.
Oh my God, there it
You're a
is.
genius. You didn't know.
no.
Now you know. You'll never forget
Yeah.
cavatapia.
Cavatapia. What are we at here? We're like
You won
3 out of 7?
One,
or 4
two,
out of
three,
7?
4, 5. You've gotten 5 out of 7.
5 out of 7?
Hey.
That's really good.
I'll
Okay.
take it.
Mafalda.
Mafalda. Oh,
That sounds like a Disney character.
It sounds like
a Disney villain.
and like a location.
Yeah.
I don't.
The beaches of Mafalda.
You know, I don't know. I'm gonna say
That's like one of those books you read. What are you reading? The Beaches of Mafalda.
It's like a Harlequin romance
is
novel.
it no?
It is a pasta.
It is a pasta. What kind of pasta? You have to prove it every time. Mafalda.
Wait, maybe I did this wrong because no, I didn't. It is like that.
Oh,
It's like
Also a little
it looks like
swirly
little
looking.
folds.
It looks like weird, like sea urchin.
Yeah, that
of,
looks
type
delicious.
of things.
Mm.
Oh, you got that wrong. Okay, tubini.
Tubini? I mean, that sounds like a pasta.
It's a pasta.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a pasta.
It also sounds like something you wear.
Yeah, a tubini.
I got my tubini on
It's
today.
just yeah, I've got my
All
tubini.
right.
It's this summer
I have a
is
tubini in
all
every
about
color.
tubinis. Yeah.
Last but not least, ottavo.
Ottavo? That does not sound like pasta.
Ding ding. That is Italian for eighth.
Yay!
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10.
7
That
out
is
of
really
10.
good.
That's like
That
my
is-
grade point
I'm
average.
Very, very, very impressed. All right, so obviously, you mentioned that While the Water Boils is all about kind of like passion, and you're really passionate about a lot of social issues. So was there like a moment that you sort of realized like I need to be vocal about social issues, or is like, what would you say?
I guess that there wasn't really any sort of
Like,
decision. Yeah, because it's like this is just who I am by nature, and even if I'm very fortunate and privileged to have a platform I can speak from about topics that are important to me. For instance, like mental health. In my memoir that came out recently, Buffering, I share a lot of stories about growing up in an environment where mental health was a real issue, but we had no resources or support or attention. It deals with like homelessness and hospitalizations, yada yada. So for a good time, call bufferingbook.com. But so by virtue of the fact that these are things that I care about, I speak about them. But there was no, there was no real moment where I thought like, ooh, I better
I
find
need to-
something to care
I better
about.
get up on a soapbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's good too because a lot of people have this platform, but maybe sometimes they're scared of alienating certain people, so they don't want to speak out on certain things. So I think that's so great that you're not afraid to use your voice. And
I feel a responsibility. I've been given many gifts in this life, and I feel like it's my responsibility to speak towards things that don't get enough attention just because I'm getting so much attention. But in no way, shape, or form do I feel like anyone has an obligation.
yeah.
Well, it's great because there's like stigmas to things.
Yeah.
Situations. Like my family deals with mental illness, and so there's a weird stigma that we've dealt with for many years. So it's like when people speak up about things like that, it's really nice.
See, weird, read, crippling, and family destroying stigma.
Yeah. So
It's definitely
bizarre.
one of those things where I think we're making a lot of progress, but there's still like a lot of moves to be made. So, but thank you so much for
voicing
your opinions on that.
I can't help it. I got a big mouth.
It's great.
So fill with pasta.
Shifting gears a little bit. So obviously, My Drunk Kitchen is amazing. Do you have any fun like plans for My Drunk Kitchen coming up that you can share?
My Drunk Kitchen is and forever will be my internet baby. Forever's a long time, so who knows? But I love it. I love being able to just drink and cook in the privacy of my own home or with friends and edit a video together and put it up on the internet. So My Drunk Kitchen is going to stay pretty much My Drunk Kitchen for now. But in the food space in general, I've actually got a television show premiering on Food Network later this year.
Oh, shoot.
I know.
I hope there's a tubini dish.
I know.
So you obviously didn't eat any tubini. You didn't eat.
Well, how do you know though? You'll have to tune in.
So what can you tell us about it? I know it's probably shrouded in mystery, but
It's
you
great.
Eat a lot?
Yeah. No, it is exact. I've waited a long time. I've been doing this working in entertainment for like 6 years, and I am so happy with the show. I think the show is great. We put a lot of love into it, from picking the cities that we go travel to actually how the episodes cut together. And now we're kind of in the last phases of everything, and I would love to talk about it more.
Yeah.
I can't wait to come back and do this.
We'll have you back. So have you gotten to meet any of because I feel like the Food Network has such a cool kind of coterie of like different, like there's Guy Fieri and there's Ina and there's everybody. So that's so cool that you're like part of that family now.
Yeah, it's cool. I was on Food Network Star, Food Network Star, and I worked with Bobby and Giada.
And now you got like your own show. You know what I mean? That's like, it's one thing to be on Food Network, but to be one of, the pioneer woman.
mean, knock on wood, guys. Knock on wood. Let's all watch the show. Let's all make a promise to watch it. And then we'll talk more.
Well, Food Network, in my household, it is Food Network and Bravo. So there is a very
great
good chance
combination.
And HGTV a little bit. So there is a good chance that I will be tuning in.
Okay,
Absolutely.
good. Oh, good. Yay.
Also, VidCon is coming up.
Yeah.
So, do you have memories of your first ever VidCon?
I do.
What was it like? How has it changed?
I thought you were just checking. Do you have memories of your first ever?
Do you remember it?
Well, it was 5 years ago, so I really hope so. I do have memories of my first ever VidCon.
And how has it changed also? I mean...
Well, everything has changed. I feel like the digital space has really grown. It's gotten a lot more recognition. VidCon has now become this full-fledged convention similar to the likes of like Comic-Con. Not quite Comic-Con, but it's getting there.
It's like a baby Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's like a baby Comic-Con. My first VidCon was in 2011. And I had no idea what YouTube really was. I had done 3 or 4 episodes of My Drunk Kitchen at the time. I was still working at my job as a proofreader at a translation firm. So I went with just like no idea what I was walking into.
Like you just went for funsies?
I just went because somebody was like, hey, we'll fly you to VidCon. And I was like,
God, okay.
Sure. Yeah. And I met some great friends who happened to run VidCon. And it was just it was surreal. Yeah. And it's really grown into something.
And you also went to VidCon Europe. How was that?
It's great. It was in Amsterdam. We had a great time. It was gorgeous. Went to the Van Gogh Museum. It was awesome to meet the people who follow your content in Europe. I haven't really gotten a chance to spend a lot of time in Europe just doing meet and greets and just meeting with people. And so I'm really grateful for that experience of being able to do a line and meet people from Germany, Sweden, the Netherlands in general, and be like, wow, nice to see you.
You exist.
Yeah, you're not just a number. And I'm not just a 2-dimensional screen character.
Right, totally.
I'm looking forward to VidCon this year because we launched last year
Yeah.
at VidCon. So we went into the lion's mouth and we're just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So this year, now that we know, it's like going to be, I think, a really
Experience is the greatest teacher.
I know. I just remember there was so much colored hair. That was like my biggest takeaway from VidCon. I was like, everybody here has colored hair. I feel so left out.
I know.
Also, recently, one of my favorite things that I saw that you were involved with recently is Mr. Kate did an office makeover for you, Grace, and Mamrie, and it was amazing.
I have spent almost every day in that office since it's been made over. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all work at home. And so I think that having a space that we can choose to go to work is a really healthy separation of church and state.
Totally.
Because when you've been doing this for 6 years, as fun and wonderful as it sounds, like, oh, just work from home all the time. Yeah. It is. I like having the option.
Lines get blurred.
Lines get blurred.
And, sometimes it's nice to be like, I'm gonna change out of my pajamas and I'm gonna go somewhere and
No, I worked from home for 7 years and somebody said, what is the tip that you give people for working from home? I said, put on your shoes.
Yeah.
I said, always get up and put on your shoes.
I don't wear shoes inside
and that
my
way
house.
You feel like
Me either.
I was like, that way you feel like you're going somewhere, you're doing something.
Yeah, shower. Yeah.
Shower.
So it's, I mean,
Like
and then
it sounds so weird, but
Right.
it's like so true. I would get up and get dressed for work, but
I mean, you could spend the first half of your workday just like,
Yeah.
and then you wake up, you're like,
Yeah. I also feel like working at like a desk or like a table helps because if you're just kind of like on your couch, like laying down
a makeover
or
would have
something.
been great, but I didn't get
didn't get that makeover.
that office makeover was amazing.
So what was your favorite part about that?
Meeting Mr. Kate.
Yeah.
She's amazing and I love her.
Did they approach you or how did that kind of come together?
Grace kind of set it up. I think Grace reached out to them or they reached out to Grace or something like that. And then, I think that Kate has just like the best energy and
So awesome.
Joey is super talented with like the practical elements of making her visions come to life. And I just feel so fortunate that we've been able to kind of have their work because the space is super comfortable, super clean, but also quirky enough to be familiar.
Yeah. Is it still, do you guys keep it like nice and neat and tidy? Is it still like on point? Good.
I cleaned it literally yesterday for no reason.
That's funny. So I feel like one thing that we've talked about before that we've talked about with Ricky Dillon, we kind of like touch on this a little bit. I would love to know kind of where you fall on it, but so I feel like clickbait is like a really big thing. It's like I don't want to say an epidemic, but it's something that's happening in the YouTube community. It's an epidemic. We need to stop it. No,
I think it's a fad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So you think it's a fad? You don't think it's?
Oh yeah, like an epidemic. But it is an epidemic. It's like it's like hard to tell the difference between if it's a fad or a trend, right? A trend is indicative of something that is showing the changing nature of the time, and like a fad is like more like a blip.
Right.
So, I'm hoping it's a fad. It might be a trend.
Yeah.
I think Clickbait is
I feel like it's sort of. I mean,
it's the only way you can do things now.
right.
But
It's sort of a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Where you gotta like entice people, but you don't want to,
lie to them about what
they're.
they're. Well, so let's define clickbait. It means titling it something it's not.
Yeah. Bait is a lie.
Bait,
Yeah.
yeah.
A nice tease is like
Yeah.
get you in.
Right.
And so I think that like I do click tease,
Yeah.
which is like
click tease.
A
the
click
click
tease.
tease, which
A
is like
click tease
this
is
is
great.
exactly the pinnacle
Yeah.
moment of this video.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think
But it's
that-
not. It's not a lie.
Yeah. As Ricky Dillon had some good points where he's like, as long as it like has something to do with the video that you're doing, like I think it's okay.
It's all fair.
Yeah, it works. I mean, it's not sexy,
Yeah.
but it works.
It's the politics of YouTube.
Yeah, it
people.
kind of is. I've
not
only
glamorous.
recently started experimenting with it, and I don't think I'm going to stick with it. I still believe in titling.
Yeah.
I love like a vague artistic title.
Right.
But I did, the other day I posted a video that was like, I shaved my head. And like the thumbnail was like, ooh. And people like, got a lot of views. And then they were like, Hannah. And I'm like, okay. Sorry.
Well, I think that's a good attitude to have about
Right.
it, where you don't need it like to survive, but if you want to do it every once in a while, it's like
It's kind of funny.
yeah, totally. Okay, so last but not least, let's bring it back to While the Water Boils. If you're listening to this on iTunes, like you can't see any of this, but if you're watching it on YouTube, we have some bowls of Barilla pasta.
Beautiful.
Some elbow macaroni and some penne. And I
love
would love
penne.
we're going to give you a couple minutes. You don't have to spend all day on this or anything, but if you just want to create some macaroni art, maybe something that represents how you feel about While the Water Boils.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, your opinions, and
You got it.
we'll just chat while you do it.
You
Does
guys
that-
can just watch.
Yeah.
Did we talk about
Enjoy
while
a
you do
long
that, did we talk
silence
about who's
from
coming
me.
up on the episodes?
on Hey Guys?
On Why the Water?
On While the Water Boils. Yeah, who's coming up?
Sorry about that.
Here, should we? What's the here? Should we?
I'm not gonna be able to talk and make art at the same
Well,
time.
then maybe John and I will just. We'll
You
have a
guys
chat
can gap, but I can
yeah.
tell you, I'm really excited. Who can I talk about? All of them. Okay, great.
Yeah.
We've
That
got
makes
some,
it easy.
All of them. All of them in season 3, right?
But you can talk about
All of them. Okay, great. Okay.
it. Getting the publicist okay over here.
Getting the okay.
So basically, I'm really excited because coming up this year, we've got some really great guests. What I really appreciate about While the Water Boils is that we have people from all different walks of life. For instance, one of the people that we are meeting with in season 3 is Paul Nicklin, who is a world famous National Geographic photographer and truly a fascinating guy, raised by
lived a
Inuits.
life, I'm sure.
Oh,
He's got stories.
he's a fascinating guy and a super, super talented photographer and just has a beautiful relationship with nature. So I'm really, really excited about Paul Nicklin. We have Paul Pierce, obviously famous basketball player, Grace Byers. I mean, you just got to watch and see.
I can't wait.
Everyone is individually amazing.
I love it. Okay, so John and I, what should we talk about? What's
We have regular glue here, and you have glitter glue here.
Yeah. So we went old
that's
school.
right.
We went old school. We went old school with Elmer's, and I love.
Do we want to talk
Speaking
about
of things that are popular on the internet, have you guys watched any make DIY slime and or foam videos?
We're all about the
we
slime.
We've covered the slime.
We're all about slime.
Hello Giggles, who's here with us. They made
Yes.
their own slime.
They made their own slime.
in the
We also
office.
have a show on Lively called IRL every Thursday, and I don't know the date of it just yet, but we do have someone coming in who's going to make some
Who's going to do slime?
She's going to make her own DIY slime.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's like borax.
But
It's
what's
funny.
the
My
difference
mom.
between slime and gack? Do you remember gack? Is
Ooh,
it gack? Is
I
it the
think
same
it's
thing?
just the
But
same
gack was just a selling, like a name, like a thing.
My mom is a preschool teacher, and this is just stuff that they've been doing for like my mom does this every year. My mom's like, hello,
I was going to say
slime
you can't
is
like sexy up slime with gack. That's not even like a
Right.
name.
The funny thing is that I did a video on my channel where I tried to make my own. Did I fail? Let's see what happens.
Tune in.
And the hardest thing was finding the borax because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
sold out
Oh, yeah.
everywhere because
'cause
everyone is
wants to
making
make
Everyone's
slime.
making slime.
Yeah.
Well, we laughed because we were talking about we had this whole conversation about Gen Z and millennials the other
yeah.
day, and how Gen Zers have like side hustles.
Yeah.
And one of our producers here, his 13-year-old niece,
I thought she was 9.
She makes and sells slime at school. Like
Yeah.
that's her side job.
Like that's
What is Gen Z?
so Gen Z is anyone born between
It's 97
1997 and
to
now. So we should all fear them. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they seem to. A lot of Gen Zers, like this is a debate we had the other day, where a lot of them they don't really necessarily feel the need to like go to college, where they're like, well, I see people who are, YouTube creators or people who are in that kind of sphere, and they think like I can just dive in and do that kind of stuff. So
they found a really good balance of like life. Gen Zers.
Yeah. I'm loving.
I'm done.
Is it done?
Yeah, it's done. I'm a minimalist.
It is so good.
We can't hold it. Should we hold
obsessed.
it up?
Do you want to sign it maybe with the glitter?
I will sign
glue?
it, and it will fall apart.
Nothing like a penne heart.
Yeah.
Some red and gold glitter.
For those of you who can't see because you're listening to the podcast, let me describe here what is in front of us.
Mona Lisa, if you will.
I mean,
Mona Lisa-esque.
It's hard to really talk about it without shedding a tear myself. It is a penne heart filled with a sparkly, glittery red and gold.
We'll take a picture of it and put
That's
it on
it.
Instagram.
Yes, it is
We'll
a
put it up on Instagram.
masterpiece.
As soon as it dries, we'll Instagram it.
It is a masterpiece, if you will. Well, so where can people watch while the water boils? Where can they tune in? Where can you watch?
Where? Barilla YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you can watch While the Water Boils online at youtube.com/Barilla. And you can also find all the recipes we make at passionforpasta.com.
I love
Ooh.
that.
Yeah. But watch the videos because I'm in them, please.
Of course.
And we worked really hard on them.
All right. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest? Anything else? We're good?
Well, I mean, thank you guys for promising to watch my Food Network show later this year. I appreciate that.
I'll DVR it.
Yes.
I'll DVR that shit.
Thank you. And no, this has been great. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming. And also, if you're listening, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes. It would really help. Again, thank you. This has been
guys.
so fun.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.